In Daniel 11, Jerusalem and Israel, the place, get caught in the middle. There are 3 conflicts between Islam and Christianity from the fall of Rome to the coming of Jesus. And those 3 conflicts were the appointed, which was the Ottoman conflict, the Turks, and he shall return and go towards the south, but it shall not be like the former, which was the Crusades, and the latter, which is at the time of the end. We're in that one right now, in the latter one. Now, what we're going to look at tonight is we're going to find that Israel is mentioned in Daniel 11, verses 41 and 45. It's going to call it the glorious land. That's Israel. Also, we're going to look at Old and New Testament evidence. And I'm going to show you that there's a geopolitical place that it's talking about, but there's also a religious people, and that's global. So we have the people and the place that we will look at. Jesus focused on that same way. I believe what Jesus was saying in Matthew 24 was primarily based on Daniel 11. Here's what we have. We have a little Jerusalem and a global religious people. Therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, standing in the holy place, whoever reads, let him understand. Now, there's no question Jesus is referencing Daniel here. He said so, right? Then let those who are in Judea flee to the mountains. So this is literally fulfilled in the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 A.D. So Jesus starts out by talking about the place. But then look what he does. For then there will be great tribulation, such as not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved from. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. He now talks about what's going to happen to his people all over the world. The place gets caught in the middle, but so do his people. Now, Daniel 11:41. He shall also enter the glorious land, and many countries shall be overthrown. Note that the glorious land is Israel. So the king of the north, during the time of the end begins in verse 40, during the time of the end, the king of the north will be entering Israel. So that's going to be impacting Israel in some fairly major ways. Verse 45. And he, the king of the north, it's talking about there, shall plant the tents of his palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountain. Well, the glorious holy mountain's the Temple Mount. Now, there's a little bit of confusion because there are 2 ways to translate the seas. Plural seas in Hebrew can mean the Great Sea. So the Mediterranean would be in plural to make it the Great Sea, which would be between the Mediterranean and the Temple Mount. However, it could also mean between the Mediterranean and the Dead Sea at the Temple Mount. Which one is it? I don't know. So, I will just tell you that the king of the north will set up the tents of his palace, kind of a mobile, short-term palace, so to speak, in or near Jerusalem. And we've got it covered. Either way it is. It's in or near Jerusalem. So when you see the papacy doing that, take note.